Hey guys, Hemoglobin here, and this one might be a long one. I was just experimenting with hoppers so that I could try to better understand some of their mechanics in order to create a sorting system or maybe a different type of sorting system. So I found some weird mechanics. To me, they kind of seem like bugs. So let's just bring up the F3 screen. So I have a few different signs here that are going to show as disabled versus locked versus sometimes you might see enabled or semi-locked. And what I'm talking about is a hopper. If you put a redstone signal close to it, it's going to become enabled false or disabled. And the problem with that is it doesn't always lock the hopper. Like, stuff is still flowing through it just fine. And they all go down. So you'd think if it was enabled false or disabled that nothing would flow through it. But that is not the case. And you can get some weird things going on when you have hoppers facing sideways instead of vertically. So when things are disabled but facing vertical, they will sometimes split the flow of items. So let's just put a couple stacks in there. See, that's going. You won't see anything in there, but you do see blaze rods falling down through there. And you'll also see blaze rods flowing through here, but it's trapped so you can't see them actively flowing. I just find that interesting because this is saying disabled, so instead of it going completely this way, it goes this way down and then just straight down as well. If I could figure out how to do a world download just so you could look at it, I'll do it. If you leave it in the comment section, I will edit my description and give you a world download link just so you could play this, because this was a truly massive time taking long. It took a lot of time and a lot of brain power, because some bits were a bit tedious. I locked hoppers in different ways, tried different algorithms here, and it was weird because it seemed like locking hoppers was directional. One of my prime examples is redstone blocks. So let me get on the other side of this guy and see if I can show you what I mean. That's going to interrupt that, I think. Go up here. Okay. So that's false. Put stuff, let's just split this a little bit. And stuff flows through. If I put a redstone block there, stuff still flows through. Let's just dump another stack in there and see what happens. One, two, three. Yeah. So, I mean, stuff still seems to get through. And I don't fully understand how or why it is the way it is. But I mean, there it's locked. Like this hopper is locked. Stuff won't go through. Like, see, nothing's going through. And it appears like if you get two disabled hoppers stacked on top of each other, then items will not fall through. Or if you get a disabled hopper above a chest, items won't go through. So let's do like so. Yeah, it stays again like so. So it's just interesting how hopper locking is working in 11.2. I would have sworn if you disabled just the hopper itself, it would just lock. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Hoppers on this side get locked if they are above locked hoppers. I thought this was directional, but it appears to be like all the directions. So that's one of the reasons I made 4 walls, was so I could test it if you're facing west, north, east, or south, will it affect the way the hoppers lock? I thought initially that was the case, but it doesn't appear to be that way. I mean, feel free to leave comments or links to videos, and I'll take a gander at it, and then I'll update this one. But yeah, it's essentially just, if there's no locked hopper underneath, then you're not going to get a truly locked hopper. But since there's a locked hopper underneath, and then sometimes it's just, if there's a chest that's locked, not the chest that's locked, but if the hopper that's locked feeds directly into a chest, then the hopper will be locked. And you don't need like the stack of 2 disabled hoppers. So that's why this hopper's locked. And then, let's see, I should probably just get a bunch of these. So I feed it into there, feed it into there. That locks, that's just disabled, and everything flows to the bottom. So that's kind of the general premise of how all these work. And then my question to myself, and I'm just going to keep this as a giant archive for myself, is what locks or disables hoppers? So obviously redstone dust on top of a hopper will disable it, but if you have items that are, like if you have a hopper that's working below it, or if this isn't directly above a chest, then this isn't going to lock. And I try, so you see there's items flowing through. Let's go to the other side just to see what's going on exactly. So yeah, this, it would appear that this is locked. However, let's remove that. So that feeds into there, right? So items are now flowing through, but if you put the redstone dust, I guess it doesn't lock that. And sometimes it was weird, you couldn't see immediately with the F3 screen unless you did an update like via sign placement, or if you relogged. Yes. So let us try feeding this hopper directly into there, and Yeah, so stuff is still flowing into that hopper over there. I just find this so weird and so backwards. So this is not a tutorial. It's just kind of like redstone theory and me being flabbergasted by the way redstone works with hoppers. Again, if anyone wants a world download and can point me into the direction of how I can provide that to you, I will happily do it, because I don't want you to have to go through all of this. I'd rather you just have this template and be able to mess with it. Oh, so observer blocks, because they're pulsing, they don't completely lock the hoppers. Like, let's see, this guy, he's observing stuff flowing in there. So let's just start up here. Stuff is flowing in, he's observing, and then he gets locked. When stuff stops flowing through this will unlock, and then this will let stuff go through. I don't know if that's, I assume someone might be able to use it for builds. Levers are interesting in how they lock hoppers. So powered, no. Powered, yes. So that one's disabled. Again, this block, so this, it's weird. This is powered, so that's locked, or disabled rather. That block is going to be powered because of that lever. So this hopper should be locked, so then I think that one will show as being, yeah, locked. So that's all locked, and it kind of creates a tower system. So let's see, we have, you're just disabled. So yeah, if there's even just like a space of regular hopper or enabled hopper, then it's not going to work. However, this is locked again because it's above a chest. If you were to lower that chest and place a hopper, so if you place this chest with a hopper and then that sandstone with the chest, everything would flow through. Let's see, and I tried various things like rails, because rails are directional. Let's see. So that's the default place. Like, you can't turn it that way. Like, so we had, this is lit, but this is still enabled. And then let us try finding another rail line quickly now. So yeah, this is powered, but this is still showing as enabled. So rails don't lock the hopper. I have a hunch. I hate it when that happens. Oh, gravy. Okay, well, since that experiment's done, let me just do one last experiment for you guys, and I hope I can do this in a relatively quick manner. That would be amazing, right? Okay. And then we'll just place this guy, and we will see. Looks like he's not getting locked. So even if a rail line is above it, feeding into it. So if yeah, powered rail line doesn't seem to lock that hopper, which is interesting. But if you put like dust above it, it will get locked. And I tried it different ways, like if the dust is going through versus just kind of resting on. So yeah, back hoppers are disabled. And then if it's going across, it will show as disabled. My question then, I guess, should be, replace you there. So yeah, you're still disabled, but because the chest is below, you are locked. So if the redstone dust is just running parallel, it'll even disable, potentially lock it. And then I tried doing the same thing over here, again testing if it was directional, but it doesn't appear to be directional. So it's just, I guess, food for thought when working with hoppers. And then it's weird because this furnace, it won't feed that charcoal in, but if you put items directly into the hopper, then they will flow through just fine. And then it's weird because sometimes like the block will lock it, and then if there's redstone dust above the powered block, then it can lock both the hoppers. So it's a lot of kind of food for thought, and I don't know, it's just kind of things to be aware of when you are creating a hopper system with redstone proximal to it. You might want to use transparent blocks like glass that aren't that will not conduct a redstone signal. And I use lamps because sometimes, like with this, they will be on, but they won't be actually conducting a signal through them. So little quirks like that I found interesting. So yeah, it's saying enabled even though the redstone lamp is lit. And here I just kind of wanted to see what gave you that multiple redstone lamp signal with just a simple input. So repeaters and dust will give you a plus sign, but individual blocks will give you individual a signal unless you attach a letter directly to the lamp, which was interesting. And similarly, the power rail will not power a redstone lamp. So that's just kind of the theory. So again, you need 2 hoppers in a vertical column to be disabled in order for one of them to be locked. Or if one of the hoppers feeding into a chest, then that hopper just needs to be locked and it will, or disabled, and then it will lock for you. And then when it comes to Ferni, if you have a disabled hopper directly below a furnace, then it will be locked. But if you feed items into that hopper, items will flow through it unless you disable the hopper below it. Those are kind of the interesting highlights of this and the bits and bobs, the nutshells of it, if you will. So let's get rid of that screen. And now I will bid you adieu. I hope that was helpful. And again, if you want a world download, teach me how to do it and I'll give it to you. And until next time, have a great day and a great build. This is Hemoglobin signing off. Good night.